On this week's episode, we give you guys a little tour on our newest cane acquisitions.
Yes, Ambutech has really come through for us, and we're super excited to tell you all about it and kind of go on a trip down memory lane with our canes, too.
So stick around.
Hello, and welcome to Rare with Flair,
the podcast where two best friends with the same rare disease are living their best lives. I'm your host, Cassandra.
And I'm your host, Casey.
Yay! We have been waiting to do this episode for quite some time.
We sure have, Cass. We sure have. And that was my bad. My bad, everybody. Because
it's not your fault. It's not your fault.
It's not my fault, but it is inadvertently my fault. It is connected to me in a way. But we were supposed to talk about this after our ATS meetup, but I did not end up going, as you all remember. So it had to be after. What?
I said where.
Oh, where. I thought you lost connection or something. Yeah, where is right. But we ended up seeing each other at the NOBA conference, and that is when Cass bestowed on me one of the most beautiful treasures I own, and we will get to that.
Oh yes, but
quickly.
Any updates in your life?
Cass, any updates? Let me see. I should have thought about this before we actually sat down, because sometimes I do have fun updates, and I got a new little workout equipment I haven't even told you about a few days ago.
Oh, fun!
So it was cheap on the Zon, which is how we love it. Okay, you know that I love hula hooping. You know.
Yes.
So right now that I'm like in the process of kind of being in between places, I don't have all my exercise equipment, and it was bumming me out a little bit. And I was like, I need to do exercise. So I got this hula hoop. I guess you could call it a hula hoop, but it's not really a hula hoop. It's this thing that it's a thing that goes around your waist, but it touches your waist. So it's not like a hula hoop where, it's bigger than you. It actually just like is as big as your waist is. You size it to be the size of your waist. And then it has a weight connected by a string, and you spin around the weight in the air, and it's fun. It's good for the abs. It also gets your heart rate up, gets you sweating a little bit if you do it for a longer period of time. And that's been fun.
That's a blast.
Might not be the most exciting update, but that's the first thing I thought of. And I was like, I want to tell you too, because that was a brand new update this week in my life that I got that. And I've used it every day since, which has been 2 whole days.
Wow.
That I got it.
Wow. Yeah. Brand new debut. That's very exciting.
Yes.
That is very exciting.
What about you, babes?
I don't feel like I have too many exciting life updates. It's been a nice time to not travel as much, which has been lovely. I will say, though, that I officially I have had Romana for 10 years.
Yes.
10 years, which means that I've been a guide dog handler for 10 years, which is
10 years.
Wild. Obviously, as many of you know and recall, I don't currently have Romana, so she has enjoyed her retirement as soon as I got Anaheim with my parents, and they are just loving her and giving her all the attention and the snugs. But I just had to celebrate that, because our girl, she's on our OG cover art. We love her.
Yes. And also, this month coming up is your 1-year anniversary with Anaheim.
I cannot believe it's been that long. It is in 6 entire days.
I can't believe that either. And it gives me so many feelings, because 10 years and 1 year are both pretty monumental anniversaries to me, And also, I just have these memories, so many memories of you at guide dog school and watching K-pop Demon Hunters.
Oh,
and
meeting him.
I know. Oh my gosh. And then the 10 years with Romana makes me feel emo as well, because I've known you that whole time, and I remember when you got her too, and I remember you texting me when you got her.
Yeah.
And Yeah, it really, if I think about it too long, I really feel some type of way.
I know. It's like, it's so
really
much.
can't.
It's so much to handle.
I really can't.
And
I
like,
can't believe
Romana's
it.
still alive, you know? So I
know,
girl,
I
like,
know.
I just,
Yeah.
even so, like, there's so many feelings attached
There's a
to
lot.
these dogs.
There's a lot of I remember the amount of feelings you were going through last August.
Oh
and it
my
was like probably
gosh.
the most feelings I've seen you have.
I've never had that
you
many
ever-
feelings. I don't know.
You
I
had a
like,
lot of feelings.
I had so
Rightfully
many
so.
feelings. I literally fell in love.
Rightfully
It was
so.
crazy.
You did. You were crying a lot.
I
and
cried
for
a
good
lot,
reason.
you guys.
And not even sad, not sad crying.
Just
Like
a lot
crying,
of
just
emotions. Like it just
A lot
all
of emotion.
bubbled up all the
All
time.
boiling up to the surface. Yeah, and trust me, I get it. I cry at everything, but yeah.
I'm
like,
not a big crier,
well-
so like it was a lot. It was so much.
Yeah.
I'm glad that it
Yeah.
like
Well,
came back down.
I take that back. I don't cry with sad stuff a lot. It's more happy or overwhelmed or angry.
Right,
Those
right.
Are the times
Well,
that I cry.
angry cry is rough.
Yeah.
though.
Oh, that's rough. That's rough. But no,
but
it's super exciting. So happy anniversary to
special.
Romana and Anaheim.
August
both the
is a
best
good
dogs
month
ever
It's a good month
for dogs. It's a good month for dogs. And also, my two dogs were both born in October. So they have the same month. Same birth month, which is fun.
That's right.
that
I
in there.
forgot that Scout is a Halloween baby.
She is literally a Halloween, like, on Halloween baby.
Spooky.
Which, like, actually tracks.
I like, you know what I
'Cause-
really need, and this is not relevant at all, but you know what? This is our show. I really need you to cut holes in a sheet and put it on her face because she
Oh
would
my
look
gosh.
so cute.
Oh my gosh. Do we cut holes for her ears and put them through the sheet?
Maybe. I don't know if that would make it
think we have
better
to.
or worse for her.
I think we have to with those ears. I
Oh,
think
you
we
got
must.
to
She
see
has
the
very
big
long
basset
listeners.
ears.
Her ears drag the floor, and when she drinks water, they get all wet because they just drag into the bowl with her.
That's so
It's very
adorable.
interesting. Very interesting. No, yeah, very funny.
I would
But
love that.
so August and October, time
August
for
and
dog love.
October. They really are. Oh,
For the love of dogs.
for the love of dogs. Guys.
Love of dogs. Guys.
Unfortunately, separate from dogs, we are going to talk about canes, which are not as
Canes.
cute and cuddle, but they can be cute.
They can be cute. Look at that segue. Look at that segue. Do you want to start this, Cass? Because you're the one that kind of brought this
Yes.
to happen.
Okay, so I have to, of course, disclaim that this episode in part is sponsored by Ambutech.
Yay! Thank you, Ambutech.
Thank you, Ambutech. So the products that we'll be talking about today, we received as part of our promotion. However, I think that you and I would agree that we would easily have purchased these for ourselves.
Without a freaking doubt.
And still promoted them on the pod.
1000%.
But, okay, so the story behind how this collaboration came to be is that in March, I went to CSUN, as many of you know. CSUN, the Assistive Technology Conference, it is like the place to go if you're in the accessibility field or if you are just really curious about the accessibility field. And they have a huge exhibit hall with tons of different vendors. A lot of them sell assistive tech, and some of them are just more disability specific. One of the companies that's always at the exhibit hall is Ambutech. And, you know, there are other cane companies, but let's be honest. Like, who are there? Who are there? Who are they?
Who are they? Who are they?
And I've
Ambutech
seen
is
them
the
at
gold
CSUN.
standard.
Yeah. No, right. You're so right. And I didn't mean to cut you off, but yeah, like I've seen other cane companies,
no.
but I'm like, they just like, they don't hold a candle. They don't hold a candle.
They truly don't.
So I walked up to the Ambutech booth and I was like, hi, my friend and I have a podcast. Would you guys be interested in collab? And they were so nice and said yes. So we communicated with them over email. They were super, super, super nice. The folks over at Ambutech, they're based in Canada in, I believe, Winnipeg. I hope I'm right. And they are exactly what you'd expect out of a Canadian company. They are so pleasant.
Very friendly.
Very
Yes,
friendly.
Love the Canadians. Mm-hmm.
And so one thing that I had been talking to our friend from Ambutech about was, you know, oh, my bestie and I have always wanted like a cute cane, like a bedazzled cane, and we haven't been able to find one. And all of a sudden she goes, well, you know that we do bespoke canes. And I said, I did not.
Come again?
Pardon? So
Pardon?
after a lot of back and forth, we'll give you guys all the details. We ended up getting some bespoke, beautiful canes.
When I say this is one of the most beautiful things I've ever looked upon, I mean it. And coming from a blind girl, that really says something if we think it's the most beautiful thing. They were super, super agreeable to all the ideas we had about this cane. They asked what colors we wanted. They really, really customized it for us. And we wanted ours to be matching.
Of course.
And they are just adorable. They have are you cool if I just start describing them?
Please, absolutely.
Okay. So they have a cork handle. So the handle is, made of cork, but it's very beautiful. It looks very classy.
It's like tan.
And it goes nicely. Yeah, it's a nice tan color. And then the body of the cane is this sparkly pink sticker paper.
Yeah,
I guess is the best
glitter
way.
tape,
glitter paper,
glitter
tape. Yeah, that's
I have no idea.
Glitter tape, and then the bottom portion of the cane section. There you go. The bottom section of the cane is indeed bedazzled with like actual light pink colored crystals that match the light pink glitter paper.
It is,
and then
a work of art.
It is a work of art, and each of the folds are like this beautiful gold color.
Yes,
it's just
so that was the thing that totally took me by surprise. Is like we had talked about the pink glitter tape on our emails, and like they literally went the extra mile. It was so sweet. They were like, we'll go to I'm gonna go to the craft store today and see like the pretty sparkles I can find. It was so adorable. But
it was so nice.
When I pulled them out of the box, I did not expect the joints to be like that pretty gold bronze color, because usually for a standard Ambutech cane the joints are like a silvery color or a black color.
Yes, correct. They're this different like bronzish color.
It's so cute.
They're so cute, and Cassandra showed it to me on FaceTime because she got them both to her house first. And I was just, my jaw hit the floor. It was much prettier than I even ever expected it to be. And I expected it to be quite pretty. It's beautiful. And, Ambutech, they do offer a lot of different colors and styles. One of the colors they offer is pink, but it's like a hot pink. And that's the one I've always had. And it's beautiful. But for this, we wanted a more like classy pastel looking pink that would go with, if we're wearing fancy dresses. This is like an event cane.
This is the event cane.
You take this to an event. You take this to a party, to a gala, to a dance, to wherever you're going, a wedding or a funeral. I hate to say funeral. But, anywhere,
funeral cane.
Anywhere, even church or even travel. You could take it anywhere. We're a little afraid to bang it up because it's so beautiful, right?
Pretty.
So it's a little bit more for like if you're going to take photos and have that. But
your red carpet cane, if you will.
Your red carpet cane, and so. It was just like even more beautiful than expected, and it's very classy looking.
It really
is. It's just, I'm so glad we went with pink because of course like they were very open to whatever we wanted, and we kind of thought pink would be great, and the stuff they picked was just better than we ever could have thought.
Absolutely. And we had been looking for exactly something like this, like the red carpet cane, because I don't know about you, I think even at NoahCon in 2024, we got all dressed up and we had our canes with us because of course, Romana had been retired at the point that I went to NoahCon, and it just like, I feel like it kills the vibe, which sucks.
Yeah. You never want that.
So, you don't want to also have to choose between your mobility aid and good vibes, if you will.
Oh, absolutely.
So highly recommend. They are so lovely to work with. I will put the email to reach out to them in our show notes, but it is orders, ORDERS, at ambutech.com. And they claim, and I'm afraid because we had asked, like, do you want us to promote that you guys do this bespoke cane stuff?
Yeah.
And they were like, yeah, sure. And I was like, I don't know if they're about to get absolutely flooded with inquests. However, please reach out to them and tell them River Flare sent you. And if you want a bespoke cane, they will work with you. It truly is so amazing. So I gave it to you at NoahCon.
Yes.
And you literally said,
it to me at NoahCon.
This is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen.
It was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. And if you've listened to our NoahCon episode we did a few episodes ago, I was dressing up as Glinda from Wicked for the opening number we did for our opening session. And it matched perfectly with the pink sparkly dress I was wearing. So I was like, I've got to use it. And when I tell you, truly, so many people came up and asked me about the cane. So many people complimented it. So many people wanted to know where it was from. And I was like, Ambutech, which most people in the blind community have heard of Ambutech because, like we said, who else is making canes?
Who else is there?
No one can hold a candle to them.
Oh, stop. Is that the title?
I was waiting. It might have to be. That might be better than anything chat can come up with for us.
Oh, man.
Anyway, but so many people were asking. And then I posted a picture on Instagram, and people were asking in the comments of the picture.
Yeah.
Because we know a lot of blind people. We're hooked up in the community, okay?
We do.
We know a lot of people, and man, people were loving it. And who wouldn't? It's just so cute.
And it's different because, you know, people have bedazzled their own canes before and they look amazing and they're pretty uniform. You know, you've got just your typical bedazzle paper or however you're doing it all along the entire body of your cane. And that's awesome. However, to have something that's this custom where the top several sections are one style and then the bottom, and they're not even like uniform rhinestone crystals. They're a bunch of different sizes, which makes it even cooler. It gives it that much more personality.
Depth, yeah. It's
really, really neat. And it really, you know, for those that are maybe a little on the fence about using mobility tools because, you know, that it's hard. Like, it really is hard. Public perception is not easy.
Yeah.
Having something that's sort of a conversation piece maybe can alleviate some of that stress.
Agreed. Like, I think in some ways it could make you stand out more to have something so sparkly and beautiful.
Right.
But in other ways, it kind of takes away the stigma of looking scary. It looks cute and it looks fashionable and it makes you have
made
some
it an
personality
accessory.
Yeah, and actually, Cass, the more we talk about it, the more I'm like, I should use it more just like in everyday life instead of just saving it for special occasions. You know, the reason we want to save it is we don't want the jewels to fall off, and we can be rough with our canes. Like, if I'm doing something rough, I obviously won't take it. But I don't know, like, you're just run-of-the-mill day, or how cute would it be at, like, a Disney park one day or something?
Right. I was literally thinking about that, actually.
You know?
Like, that would be so cute at a Disney park.
It really would.
It adds that, to overuse the word of the social media year, it adds the whimsy into life.
It it does, though. It does.
But it really does. Like, take it to the grocery store. Because, like, you know what? Why not? Life is too short. But it also takes away the sterileness of
I think it does,
of an aid. You know, it feels less, I don't know, like keep away and more like come hither.
Absolutely. I mean, you know how we go crazy when we see fun wheelchairs and fun.
Oh, so fun.
Other aids. So I think people would appreciate it if they see it. I think they'll smile.
It's so cool. And again, we're so grateful to Ambutech for that. I also got a little bonus gift, which...
Oh, yes. And this is exciting, too.
Is super cool. So I love to go hiking. And I've taken a cane hiking before because sometimes it's helpful to have trekking poles, like one in either hand. And that's great. But obviously, like, trekking poles aren't necessarily intended to probe the ground in the same way that a cane is. And also, sometimes it's helpful to identify yourself while you're hiking that you're visually impaired. So, you know, if you're standing in someone's way on the trail, they're not just like ew move, they're kind of like, oh, okay, she probably didn't see me, you know?
Right.
But of course, I'm not, you know, we're not ID cane gals. We've railed against the ID cane many a time. Sorry,
IDK people.
No. I mean, to each their own. However,
teacher.
I wanted something that sort of married a trekking pole with a cane that could maybe do double duty, if you will. And you know what? I was inspired by you, of course, because we're always influencing each other. I was.
Oh.
Because I wanted a solid colored cane.
Oh, that's yes. Mm-hmm.
I didn't have one before, and I was like, oh, you know what? It's kind of just like with the idea of it all, you know, I don't know. Sometimes I want it, and sometimes I don't. And sometimes when I'm hiking, I want it, and sometimes when I'm hiking, I don't. But I was like, you know, this is going to be the time for me to actually be able to try out a uniform colored cane that doesn't necessarily give off like cane. So Ambutech makes canes in different materials. We have always gotten our canes in the lightest material, which is graphite, and it's their, I would say, bestseller.
Well, Cass, I wouldn't say always. My first was aluminum, but we can get to that later.
Yeah, I think aluminums were sort of the OG, and then they innovated and whatnot, and then graphite burst onto the scene.
And fiberglass as well.
So, so you got to pick whatever works best for your scenario. If you're kind of everyday lifing, which is the majority of our canes, graphite makes the most sense, especially if you're swinging it back and forth consistently. Your arm gets tired. You don't want something that's going to be extremely heavy, because you also have to add on the weight of the tip, which, depending on which one you get, could be pretty heavy.
Right.
So I knew that I would need something a little bit stronger. And when I was talking to one of the women from Ambutech at CSUN, I was like, you know what? Like, I've always wanted something that was sort of cane, but also sort of trekking pole. And most cane tips roll, which I like in most situations, because I'm a constant contact girl. I'm not going to necessarily do a 2-point touch. For those who don't know, constant contact is just dragging your cane in front of you in sweeping motions across your body.
Mm-hmm. Never leaving the floor.
Unlike the tap, tap, tap that you might also see blind people do, especially like on TV. 2-point touch really has a moment on TV.
And especially people who are totally blind and use more of their hearing.
The auditory cues, yeah.
Yes.
And each method has its merits, but I find more commonly that folks with some amount of remaining vision like us tend to go with constant contact, and most of those tips will roll. But there's no tip, which, you know, probably on purpose, that's like, and I quote what I told her was like, I think I need something that's like low-key kind of stabby. You know what I mean? Because like a trekking pole is kind of stabby, because sometimes you want to really like cleave into the ground as you try to pull yourself up. Mm-hmm. And she was like, well, you know what? There's a hack for that. And I was like, okay. So, okay.
Tell me more.
The kit that I basically received when I got this cane. So I got not aluminum. I got a fiberglass cane because it's the most durable. And a lot of trekking poles are actually made of fiberglass material. So I was like, okay, perfect. It's kind of like aligning with the vision.
Yes.
The grip is just the standard golf grip, because it's pretty easy to grab onto. It's pretty ergonomic. Right. And black. I got the body all in like a nice forest green tape, because again, we're going for trekking pole.
We're going hiking.
We're going hiking. We're outside.
Yes, we're outside. The foliage.
We love. So the tips. Tip number 1. There's 3 pieces in the assembly of this thing, which is actually super, super smart. Tip number 1 is a standard hook tip marshmallow. And I will put if you want a BYO hiking cane, I will put all of the links in the show notes of like how you could individually purchase all of these pieces. So get yourself a standard non-rolling marshmallow. It's just like a little white cylinder that goes on the end of your cane. And then what you want to do is go into the tools for stability canes, right? Because like, right? And I was like, oh, that makes sense as soon as she told me. Like, that makes sense because for a stability cane, you're putting your weight on it.
Right.
So you need something that's got more stability and less like mobility.
Right.
So you get a rubber little boot for it. It's basically like a rubber...
Like a walla.
Oh, like a walla. But yeah, it covers the whole like standard marshmallow tip in this kind of rubbery foot. And you can use it just like that. With that rubbery foot, it reduces the amount of friction. So if you're like putting it on a rock, you're a lot less likely to just slide around because it's not plastic, it's rubber.
Right, right.
So you could use it like that, but where the stabbiness comes into play, which is not a statement that I ever thought I would say.
Yeah, out of context. It's fine.
There's actually a piece for the stability cane called an ice pick or an ice spike.
Oh my.
Which is pretty badass.
Which is kind of like the shoes they wear in Alaska when they're...
Yes, and I actually have ice spikes that I can attach to like any shoe, including winter boots, for when I go out walking in the ice and snow. Mm-hmm. So it's a lot like that, but for the end of your cane. And so you can flip that ice spike up or down. So if you need more like grip into the ground, you can flip it down. But if you don't, you could just flip it back up and it stays attached to the body of your cane.
Nice.
So it's super cool, very modular. You can kind of build it yourself and add on to it. And I'm like so excited for the possibilities in this cane because like even just attaching all of the pieces to it like leaning on it, it just feels so sturdy because of that.
Oh, love that.
Yeah, of that fiberglass. And like obviously with a graphite cane, it's going to bend and bow because it's supposed to be flexible and lightweight. But if you're a hiking baddie and you want to kind of build your own Ambutech hiking cane, look no further. This is actually a really, really cool solution.
You're kind of influencing me, and I don't even hike nearly as much as you, but it sounds awesome.
And, you can always swap out the tip to your preferred rolling tip so that,
true.
It can really do double duty. Or if you want a more incognito cane, you can make it do that. But you have so many more options. And you could, of course, like get this tip configuration, put it on any old cane, but just know that like a graphite might not hold up to the like putting your weight on it as much.
Right. Very, very true. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I love the new canes we've gotten. I think they're really great for, it's fun to get canes for niche situations.
Yes.
Because a lot of the times when it comes to mobility tools, you have like one or two options and you don't get to have special ones, but it's like, no, this is my cane for hiking and this is my cane for the theater and this is my cane for, whatever. And I think, of course, you have your standard cane if you're a cane user, but it's fun to make your mobility tools
cane.
Cool. So we just want to thank Ambutech so much for sending us these. And we really hope you do check it out. And if you want one, and our cover photo for this episode will have our canes in there. And so hopefully you'll be able to see it. But yeah. Cass,
canes.
Do you want to, speaking of Ambutech and canes, it's making me feel all warm and fuzzy, Ooh. And if you would like, I think we should take a trip down memory lane of the types of canes we've had throughout our cane journeys.
The canes of our lives.
These awesome canes. The canes of our lives. I like that. Mine have all had different names also. So.
Like sands in the hourglass. These are the canes of our lives.
Wow, that was deep.
Thank you.
See, is that the title? I don't know. The canes of our lives.
Watch it be
like
none of these.
Wow, that's
You know, that's the intro to Days, right?
Yeah.
Sorry. Please catch the reference.
Yes. Oh yeah. No, I did. But was also just giving you the cred for
Thank
being
you. Thank
artsy.
you.
Yeah. So you started using a cane before moi. Did you ever have a different brand other than Ambutech, or was it always Ambutech?
I did actually have a different brand, and I truly cannot remember what the brand was. So my very first cane is actually really embarrassing, but of course, you know, I don't blame anyone because we didn't know any better. So I started using a cane because I went to a NOAA conference, which is very timely that we're talking about this.
Yeah.
As a teen. And I want to say like 15 or so. And I had seen other teens with albinism using a cane, and I thought, boy, that looks like it's super helpful. And we would be walking around, and they would be able to probe where the steps were, and they didn't have to be like constantly looking up and down and left and right and squinting against the sun and still kind of tripping on stuff. So I told my parents, Mom and Dad, I want a cane for Christmas.
Aww.
So I did. I got a cane for Christmas. However, at this time, I went to a private school, and being able to get services at private schools can really, really vary. And at the time, I was not receiving O&M training. I had received O&M training from 3rd through 5th grade. So for those who don't know, orientation and mobility training that teaches blind, visually impaired, and other disabled folks. Honestly, it's not just blind and visually impaired people, but we tend to talk about it the most and often really need it the most. How to navigate safely in environments that, you know, how to cross streets, but also how to depend on our other senses in order to know when it's safe, how to orient ourselves, what are cardinal directions, a lot of really, really useful skills, how to read a map, which may be going out of style because of phones, but even how to use a navigational app.
Yeah.
So at this time that I had asked my parents for a cane, I wasn't getting any O&M training and had never been trained to use a cane. So they found one. Awesome. For those who don't know, a cane should really be, and we're not O&M specialists, okay, just to clarify.
Right.
We're just giving you what we know from having had O&M training. Typically, the minimum height that is recommended for what they call the standard white cane or the long cane should be about up to your armpit. And if you want to walk fast, you want to make it longer, about up to your chin. So between those two heights is roughly where your cane should be. This cane was not very tall at all. It was about up to, I'll have to pull out a picture. I want to say it was like up to my belly button. It was not long, and I am quite tall. Okay. And I have been this height since about that age.
Yeah.
So I had to reach forward a lot and really use it. However, it was still useful. I feel like my posture was just like rough and it didn't extend very far at all.
Yeah.
But I did use it a couple times. I have pictures of going to Disney World with this little tiny cane, actually.
Oh.
But it was super helpful.
Yeah. My first one I bought was an Ambutech cane. Like the first one I owned was. But when I did O&M cane training when I was 23, I didn't do it till I was 23 and I was about to move to a bigger city. So I needed cane training, all the things. But my O&M instructor just gave me a cane she had on hand to train with. And I'm pretty sure NFB gives free. Is it NFB that gives free canes?
It is NFB. They are rigid, so they don't fold.
Yeah. Right. It was one of those. It was rigid. It didn't fold. And the tip cast was like the size of like minuscule, like a minuscule tip, and it didn't roll, you know,
and the
fancy,
NFB
right?
canes
like,
typically come with what they call the metal glide tip. So it's meant, so it's super, super, super lightweight, but it's really meant for that 2-point touch method. So you tap as you walk and you get to hear the sounds, but it's not that useful for not getting stuck in cracks and sidewalks.
Correct. So not my favorite, but it got the job done for learning how to use one. And then I did end up, my first cane I bought was an Ambutech cane, and it was just a plain white cane with a red bottom. The bottom, why can't I never think of that word? You just told me the other time. Section. The bottom section was red, and then the handle was hot pink. And that was my first cane. And then I'm pretty sure I got a second and third cane exactly matching that. And then my third or fourth cane, not to jump too far ahead, but my third or fourth cane, Cass, I was inspired, I think, by you. And my fourth bottom section was hot pink instead of red. Because
ooh, yes,
didn't you do that? Okay, yeah. So my bottom section, I got hot pink at one point because I was like, this is more fun than a red. And it wasn't as intense looking, but it still kind of looked like a cane, like a blind cane from afar, because it, you know, looked close enough to be red. Yeah.
So it's still like worth it, the identity piece. I think I got that tip from another blind person. Of course. Here we are giving it to y'all if you want to make your bottom segment more fun, because the standard white cane in the United States is mostly white and then a bottom red section. Each state has different rules about what an official white cane looks like. But honestly, I think that the definitions have tended to expand a good bit, that it's like any visually impaired person holding anything.
Well, yeah, because I've heard some people say in the U.S. a fully white cane means you're totally blind.
I've heard that
and
too.
And the red means you have some vision. Now, whether or not that's necessarily true is debatable. And then in some other countries, having red on there means you're deafblind, which is not true here in the States. So in the States, that's typically what you'll see, is either an all-white cane or white with the red bottom. Which is, you know, standard, and what you see in movies even.
And let's be honest, it is like pretty hard to get normies to know what a white cane is at all, much less what the different colors would mean, which is why we've gotten canes that have full colors.
Right. And my next one was the full pink. I got a full pink cane, and we did do a whole episode about that. Where we talked about our new canes we had gotten. And Cass, what about you? Like, as far as like all the different ones you've had and the different color tips and everything, what have you
oh man, I've had canes. I've had a lot of canes. I will say none of my canes, the bodies of the canes, have actually ever broken. They've gotten pretty ratty and pretty used, but I know people who have physically broken canes.
My rubber band snapped in one of my canes because I had folded it so many times that it got to be this little bitty string holding on for
I would call that a broken cane.
It was broken, but the actual body of it was not cracked or broken. It was just there is
usually that's what people mean, I think, when they say that their canes have broken, is that like it was the bungee cord has snapped.
My first one, the bungee cord snapped in my first cane, but I had been very rough with it for many years, so it lasted a long time.
That's wild. So my first real cane from O&M training, I think I had one with a black handle. And then shortly after that is when Ambutech had released what they call the Highlights series. So that's where you can get a different colored golf grip handle at the top. So pretty shortly after I got kind of a standard black handled cane, my O&M instructor, I was still in high school, my O&M instructor was like, oh, I'll get you the fun color. What one do you want? And they come in orange, bright blue, hot pink, and green. Now they actually come in purple, which is super fun for any purple fiends out there.
I know, I probably would have gotten purple had I at the beginning, you know.
Right. And that was actually pretty recent. It was only maybe a few years ago that they came out with the purple handle. But I, from the beginning, had always gotten a green-handled cane. The green-handled cane has been the OG.
Yep.
I used that cane and abused that same cane my freshman year of college. There was a period where I didn't use it as much, and then I used it a lot. And oh my goodness, yeah, that cane truly went through it.
Well, you had a lot of tips that also broke and went through it.
The thing that I've broken is tips. So wildly enough, we were talking about the rolling tips. My favorite tip had always been, especially when I was an undergrad, the roller ball. It's literally a hollow ball at the end of your cane. And I really liked the way that it went over cracks. I went to Ohio State as an undergrad, and so I was like constantly walking. It's a massive university. Constantly walking, constantly dragging my cane tip on the ground. I got so many miles and steps every single day just going to class and back. I think my freshman year, I broke like 3 cane tips. Which is actually really unbelievable.
I remember.
What ends up happening is obviously friction wears things down.
Right.
And you have a hollow ball that you're constantly rubbing on the concrete.
Right.
So it started to, of course, if you've seen a used roller ball, it starts to sort of file it down to a point. So you have sort of a more of a cone at the end instead of a sphere.
Yep.
If you keep using it, because I was a broke college student and I just kept using it.
Yeah.
All of a sudden I started hearing like hollow noises as I was using my cane, and I was like, what is going on? And I picked it up, and it's 2 semicircles that are hollow fused together. So the fusion in between had like broken open. So basically there were like a bunch of little rocks inside. It was like a little maraca.
Oh, fun.
It's so fun. And even, this is wild. I don't know if I lost the other semicircle or if it had just filed down so significantly that it was basically like a tiny little triangle top hat on top of the ball. It's crazy. I think I still have a picture of this extremely broken cane tip. And that happened a few more times, not always in the same way, but the fact that my roller balls would either crack from impact or just be filed down so significantly that they literally split apart. They are very durable, but of course, I've really put it to the test.
Wow. I never used that type of tip. I always used a roller marshmallow tip, which it is named that because it looks just like a marshmallow. It rolls and it is solid. It is not hollow. Yeah. But it does a very similar thing that Cassandra is explaining, as when it starts to wear down, it does start to look like a cone or even like a pencil. Like it gets really, it gets pointy at the end. And I remember using mine so often that with my first cane that like I started hearing scraping on the ground. Oh. And I looked at the cane and the whole thing was just gone. Like it doesn't break open. It's eventually
just files down to a nub.
Nothing. And so the scraping I was hearing was like the top of the bottom of the actual cane and not the roller marshmallow tip, not the tip. So I had to replace it, and that's easy to replace. You can just buy the tips without having to buy a new cane, of course, and you can replace
and cane tips are relatively affordable.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's wild. So actually, since then, I've used many different tips over the years. Actually, when I was in high school, I was a big fan of the ceramic tip. I liked the way that it glided, and I didn't use it all the time, or my cane meaning, and I didn't have as much of an issue of it getting stuck in cracks. I like the way it glided. And when I was using it for O&M or even to travel for shorter periods, which is when I would use it in unfamiliar environments, it got the job done. I didn't feel that it got stuck as often. It was okay. But in hindsight, it definitely got stuck a lot more than it could have with something that is bigger and rolled, which is why I switched over to the rollerball shortly after starting college.
Gotcha.
I still have a metal glide tip from way back when. And I've used the roller marshmallow, but I do feel because at least the way it starts out, it's very blunt at the end. Because it's a sphere and not it's a cylinder and not a sphere. I found that it would get caught a lot more, so that's why I preferred the rollerball. One of my favorite tips at this current moment, even though of course I have a guide dog, so I really don't use my cane that much. But one of my favorite tips is called I think it's just called the jumbo roller. And it's like a flat disc that's
I've seen
solid. That. I like it a lot because I think it combines some of the better aspects of the rollerball with the marshmallow. The problem with the rollerball is obviously it takes up a ton of space and it adds a lot of height to your cane. So, bear that in mind. It's heavier too. It is heavy. And I have used some rollerballs that are partially solid. So instead of the hollow balls, I then switched to one where the bottom was solid and the top was hollow, so it wouldn't be like completely super heavy. They even have one now called the lunar tip, which is cool, and it's sort of just the bottom half of the solidy roller ball, so it's sort of shaped like a semicircle.
That's cool.
Which is cool, and I definitely think that would be something that I would try. But I do really like the jumbo roller. I like the flatness of it. I feel like it's almost like having a little wheel at the end of your cane, which they do have a tip for that I don't like as much. But I like the little wheel aspect. It really just demolishes the cracks, which is really nice. And
I mean, I think we've kind of covered it a little bit, but just to be very blunt about it, the bigger the tip, the heavier your cane will be. So that's the downside to that. But the smaller the tip, the more it'll get caught in the ground. And so you've got to choose your battles. And both of those can be a battle. Or you have to find a happy medium that kind of helps you with both. So
exactly.
I thought you were going to talk about another kind of cane too. Are you getting to that?
Oh, the one that we talked about in the last episode?
Yeah.
Yeah. So in the last episode, we talked about canes when we got some new canes about 3 years ago. I got the no jab cane. And this cane has a spring-loaded handle. Now, we have heard some controversial opinions on the no jab cane from within our community. Literally yesterday, actually.
We have.
Some O&M specialists believe that the no jab cane helps contribute to poor grip technique.
They do.
Yeah.
Yes.
However, I like the no jab cane.
Yes.
Because I am not constantly stabbing myself or looking goofy or even constantly having to stop for every little bump in the sidewalk. The no jab cane is especially really nice because since I have Anaheim, the main times that I use a cane anymore are when I travel overseas. And when you travel overseas.
You know what happens overseas.
They got the cobblestones.
They got the cobblestones. Beautiful to look at, not as beautiful in practice.
There is no cane that I would have wanted in Italy.
Oh, no.
That was not the no jab cane.
Oh, I can imagine. Yeah.
And it is a bit pricier, I will say, but it's worthwhile. It is quite durable. I used it a lot in between dogs. So when Romana was retired and then as I had Anaheim, I used it a lot. And I still take it with me to travel. You can get it with a normal golf grip or you can get it with a really sleek red leather grip, which I just think looks really swanky.
Really cute. I like it.
It's a very nice cane. And again, I've used it a lot for a handful of years, and I don't feel that the spring has worn in any way. I think just the thing to note is that the spring loadedness of it all makes it feel a little bit taller. So think about your like what cane tip you want to use when you account for the height, because when I put the rollerball on it, it was like a little too tall, I will say, at first, and I wasn't sure I liked it. But when I switched over to the jumbo roller, which is flat and not round like a sphere, I liked the feeling of it a lot better. Also, if you're a tall girly or not girly, the no jab cane can only fold into so many segments. So as someone whose cane tends to fold into 6 segments because I'm very tall, I think that the max for no jab is 5, which is fine if you're on the shorter side, but just be aware, I was prepared for it to collapse a little bit more, but the spring loadedness obviously needs a little bit more space. Yeah,
makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah. But
yeah,
I think that's my life in canes. I've had I really have had a lot of just the green handled canes that I've replaced over the years.
Yes, me too, with the pink.
Yeah.
It looks like Cosmo and Wanda hiding in plain sight when our canes are together.
It's so cute. Or Glinda and Alphaba, as we've called them before.
Yeah, that's
you
true
said
too.
your canes have had names.
Oh, yes. So wait, let me see if I can remember. So my first cane was Carol Kane, named after the actress Carol Kane. My second cane was Candy Cane.
Cute.
For obvious reasons. My third cane was Michael Caine, named after the actor. And then I kind of ran out of people with the last name, or things with the last name Caine. So the pink one, the all pink one, and the sparkly one do not have current names. But you know what? We should name our sparkle canes.
You know what?
Something.
We'll take petitions for names from the audience.
Babe. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Send us in your
suggestions. Some thoughts about what you guys think that Casey's canes names should be. I'm incredibly boring and potentially can be branded as unimaginative, but all of my canes have had the same name.
And what is that? Remind me.
Mike. My cane.
My cane.
Mike.
Amazing.
All of my canes are Mike. Now, I will say, the, pink glittery one, that's Michelle.
Oh, of course. Obviously.
Of course.
Have to feminize it a little bit.
A little bit, but most of them are Mike. I think the no jab cane is Michael.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think, I'm not sure what the hiking cane's name should be. Big Mike? I don't know. If you guys have suggestions, we will take them.
Yeah, if you want to, let us know. Let us know.
Oh, this was fun. I actually really loved hearing about the canes of your lives. I loved the names. That's so fun.
I know. No, I loved going down memory lane with our canes, and it makes me really excited to continue to use our new one too. And yeah, please look at our show notes, contact Ambutech if you are interested, and tell them we sent you, and we want to thank Ambutech for sending us these canes for this promotion we're giving on this episode. We want to thank them so much for that, and for being a great company and for making things fun for us.
Absolutely, and making canes fun for all of us.
Yes.
We love it.
Yes.
Well,
all right.
We love y'all.
We love you so much.
And we will see you in 2 weeks. Bye. Bye.